I need a card from your graveyard. Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I'm playing with Nita, Forum Conciliator. Nita is a crime commander who requires 2 mana, sacrificing a creature, and paying the cost of a spell at sorcery speed in order to steal spells from your opponent's graveyards, only instanced in sorceries, making her incredibly fair. She also has a passive ability, putting +1/+1 counters on each of your creatures when you cast a spell you don't own, which means you don't need to use her to do the crime as long as you're casting spells from your opponent's deck. So this deck is a combination of going wide and taking cards from your opponent so you can cast them for yourself. We have things that can repeatedly steal, like Gaunty, Night Minister, and Rev Tithe Extractor. We've got one-off crimes that can really pack a punch, like Wrench and Crabomination, and we have lots of sacrificable tokens that we can both buff up and sacrifice using Nita. I will tell you straight up that this deck, unfortunately, is a little too fair for Brawl. That's right, an Orzhov tokens deck that's just a little too difficult to make the commander work for its matchmaking. But it's still cool, and I tried to get some good games to show you what she can do, so let's check it out as we take her into the queue. Roll Crackling Wit! They're gonna be storming off by ulting their commander. I will try to make them discard stuff so I can steal it and make Nita big. I have none of my token stuff here. I just have the, set up the graveyard and do one crime. All right, let's see what you have in hand. Card draw. Card draw. Removal. Sure. I'm gonna use a sleight of hand. Some of these are good stealable spells for me if I get my token producers. Oh, hey, Gaunty. For me, it's also just important that I have a kill spell, so I can take out Brawl if he starts getting close to ult, or just if he exists. Yeah, Brawl's cool. And Brawl's gotten some great new cards too. Flow State is good in this deck. Prismari Charm is good in this deck. If I play Nita, she's just going to die. Huh. If I take the Brain Freeze, they'll notice because they clearly are going to be running it with a combo. There's no other reason why they would be doing that. And it might cut them off from it or give me the payoff, but it's probably going to be like Brain Freeze, you self-mill until you get enough to mill them. Huh, they didn't play their commander. Okay. You ready to absorb a hit, friend? Esper Sentinel. A perfect target for you to abrade. Then you can Flame Slash my commander the next turn. You can also abrade commander this turn. Oh, you also have Lightning Bolt. Sure. And then are you gonna abrade this? We knew she would just take a removal spell. But wait, it's Roll! They're gonna make an order.
Together we can shift the current.
What if am I willing to let you have an extra turn and make more otters? It's like I really want to steal, so I'm gonna steal. They've already used Bolt, but they haven't used all of the bolts. Ooh, Strike It Rich, Time Warp. Okay, so I'm just gonna take all of your extra turn spells. Genius! If they can't have them, then I can have them. You will not storm off with those, though these are admittedly ones that will go to their graveyard and be recastable.
I am confident this will work.
Actually, kind of surprised they went for Gaunty there. You gonna braid the Sentinel yet? Yeah, that's what we call taking turns. Something, sharing is caring. Tell him to get lost. Actually, just kill him. Whee!
I need to workshop a new theory.
Braid this. You can pay the 1. Replay roll. They're not using the abrade there. All right. Now they have card advantage off their commander because they can use the minus when he comes down. And these otters will beat me to death over time. But I'm just sitting here like, well, one of these days I'll do something. They are abrading the vampire. And they're going to be swinging with a pair of beefed up otters. Yeah, no, they're like purely on that prowess game plan now. I mean, the fact that you get otters as a plus ability is so crazy to me. Because like a 1/1 with prowess is pretty darn good. Dang, I wish I had another mana. All right, whatever. I'm going to fire off this one. Get him! Yeah! Get him! I'll hit your free counter spell. You may have 1 additional mana. And use it for your roll, even. Predict Ritual is so... I don't know. It's like Manamorphose.
That's all you want.
They make another order. They're swinging in for 4, but I'm not dead yet, so I don't care. Gain some life. Remove 1 otter. Swing with my little homeboys.
I hope I change back when I leave.
Getting rid of the roll so they can't be storming. I have like interest in the deck though. Do you pay the 1? Probably not, because then you wouldn't have done that. They have 7 mana. Ooh, and they are discarding Wash Away. See if they get another spell to cast here. Valakut Awakening. Yeah, I'm planning on blocking one of these otters. Unless, of course, my Solitude dies. They have filtered and filtered and filtered. Nice. Thanks? I didn't do anything. Are you nicing yourself? I think they're nicing themselves. Did you find lethal? Shock would do it. Well, you shocked in. A traumatic critique. They are killing the Esper Sentinel. They will draw 2 and discard. Great new card, by the way. And now they attack with their cute little otters. Solitude, do me a solid. Cracking it. Doo-doo-doo. Terminus. Can you guess what I was stealing? It was this. Alright, let's see. Ugh. Stinks that I cannot adequately do crime in this environment. Fine, I'll set up to lose some life. Stormcatch Mentor. He's a cute little otter. He also has prowess. Maintaining my life total. Drawing a card. Thanks to the Enduring Innocence. Gaining a life that I just lost. One of these days I'll be able to steal. Okay, do I just hold the get lost here? I think the answer is yes. In next turn, I think I'll be able to steal those extra turns again. Hello, Brawl. Plus or minus?
Doesn't take a genius to see something weird is going on.
Out of here. I have ye olde chump blocker.
Observe, analyze, iterate.
Great, and now we can do the thing that the Nita does. All right, ready? You ready? We spent so long just staring each other down and getting beat down by otters. I'm going to sacrifice a fairy and take the time warp and do it again. I did it the first time too. Give me your ding dang time warp. It's gonna buff all my critters. This is for me. This is mine. Do you know what I had to give up for this? Clive, Ifrit's Dominant, is going to be building up a bit of devotion and then drawing a lot of cards. One of my favorite commanders to play. I have this fetch in my opening hand, so I should have access to both black and white mana. And let's see if we can have our crimes go unpunished. Yeah, Clive will have permanents to steal and some instants and sorceries to steal, mostly lightning bolt type effects. Not as much as I would like, though. So let's start with Duress. Brass's Tunnel Grinder. And a Braid. Well, I'm gonna drop the Braid. Look, that's stealable! A lot of good critters here. Since they only have one, like, true land, I think that's smart, starting with that, so I can't force them to discard it. I'll play Marionette Apprentice. And they could go Steamkin or Inti here. Steamkin lets them bank up mana. I'll play Nita. Swinging with both of these. I don't think you want to block, but maybe you will anyway. They could play Inti to make this attack for 3. It gives it an additional counter, and it lets them help select for another piece of land. Like, whenever they discard with this out, it puts a card in exile. Even if I'm the one who makes them discard. Inti's very cool. Looks like they are doing that, but they already played their land for turn. Which makes me think that they are playing another spell or they're planning on staying back. Now, I need Nita to live, unfortunately, to do anything. Runaway Steamkin. Just wants to run away. So they have a Faithless Looting. Ooh, that'll be fun with Inti. Swings it as a 3/3. No blocks. And now I will attempt to use Nita's ability. All right, wait, let me play the land first because it's going to cost me 4 mana and a creature. Yeah! I did it! I cast a spell off Nita. And that's just neat. There's another spell I could possibly cast, Faithless Looting. It looks like this Clive is built with a discard theme in mind, which some Clives are. Mine is more devotion themed, but because Clive discards when he enters, you can do things with that. Yeah, I just maximize the amount I can draw off Clive. Ugh, Clive, you're so fun. Ooh, okay. Discarding that land, which they can now play off Containment Construct. Getting a Terror to Peaks, they won't be able to play that. We know they only have 2 mana, so I think we're just safe to block with Nita. I don't really want that Faithful Saluting out of the graveyard. I guess Mother of Runes, Generous Pup, swing in with both. And if they play Brass's Tunnel Grinder, in response, I think I kill Containment Construct, so they cannot play the discarded cards. This is just an old woman beating up a big beefy hero boy with her bag. Grandma! Grandma, why are you doing this to people? I just wanted to feel involved. Ooh, no, they're going for Enduring Courage. Just setting up for haste. Even if I kill this, they can bring it back. I will pay 3 life and kill the Enduring Courage. It will return. Okay, Fountain Port. Again, I don't really want the Faithless Looting. But I would accumulate more damage by stealing it and casting it because of this Generous Pup. The question was like, am I willing to give up Mother of Runes? Am I willing to give up Marionette Apprentice? I don't think so. And if I use the Fountain Port and make a token first, just not enough. I'll offer you a trade, my Generous Pup for your Containment Construct. I don't see why you would shake it. We have many women to help us lead us into victory here. The young, the old, the middle-aged, the government. They're thinking about it. They're thinking about it. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't go for Faithless Looting last turn instead of a Buppy. Like, with Containment Construct out, they could have dropped, say, Brass's Tunnel Grinder, gotten a land, and been able to play it. But if they had gone for that, I would have gone for the kill. All right, come on, Clive. Let's do it. Are you roping? Because I have the ability to make fish now. It's okay. I understand. It's good fish. You think this is a mother, a grandmother, a daughter, and the family dog? This is a family dog. It's a good dog. It only works with the commander in this deck because I didn't really put in that much +1/+1 counter synergy, but it's cool. It's like you and Emperor of Bones. Y'all like those bones. All right. Pass back. They're still here. All right. They're at 6 mana. They can play Clive and draw 3. And I think in response, we go to kill it. Oh, sorry, 4, because Enduring Courage is double pips. They only get to draw 2. And then we can swing in for lethal. Did I have fun? It wasn't bad. Vraska Golgari Queen. Vraska has removal stapled to her and can draw cards by sacrificing permanents, meaning they'll probably play some of the other, I don't know, token spitter routers that we've got in our deck. Vraska is also a Planeswalker in the command zone, making her difficult to kill, but I do have a bunch of Planeswalker removal in my deck, specifically because, well, Planeswalkers are one of the threats that's best against Nita, especially because they can run a lot of board wipes, and if we have no board, we have nothing to sacrifice. We have nothing to hit with. Esper Sentinel, though, start my game, tax them if they dare cast some non-creature spells. Mr. Bones has nothing to exile. I still want to throw him down, though. Ooh, a Bitter Bloomberry. See, that's another one of the just token spitter routers we've got in our deck, too. Because they're good. It's a good card. They're cultivating. They cannot pay the 1, but that gets them a land in hand and a land into play, so they could definitely play Vraska next turn. Good old hissy baby Vraska. And I will use my Inquisition here to see if there's anything that would be very strong against us. There are 2 board wipes. And they are both quite good against me. This is, I guess, draws them a card, could protect them once. Oh gosh. This one's a little bit more expensive to cast, but just wipes the tokens real easy. And I'm trying to think, like, if I steal from them, which one would I rather steal? Probably Deluge. Because I can put this in the graveyard in order to grab it later. I wish there was a creature here for me to steal. With Mr. Bones. Emperor of Bones is in this deck because we can steal instants and sorceries with Nita. Emperor of Bones can exile the creatures from their deck, and I can use those creatures as we get the +1/+1 counters from Nita to just get them into play for some cool swinging. So Vraska's out, and they are plussing to sacrifice the fairy token to draw a card. Yeah, I'm killing Vraska. They can replay her again in a turn, but she's a problem. Don't I know it? Oh, there's Reanimate. Had I gone for this, we could steal that. Again, we know about the board wipe. We know they have more mana than us. There's no creatures there. Anything I play could get wiped by Day of Black Sun, so I don't really feel like playing anything. If I need to, I'll just beef this up if they don't go for Day. They're digging, but they're not cleaving, which means they're just looking for a land. And they got the One Ring. Going to protect them for a turn. Yeah, I will just turn this into a 4/4. There's no creatures for me to get out anyway. Nita could put the counters. Baragoyf, I can protect with this Malakir Rebirth, but I need to be playing lands, so I will be playing lands. Submit 0, those are non-creatures. I would like to steal them. They lose a life, get a fairy. Yeah, I'm planning on using the Reanimate instead, since I do want my lands. They've drawn a card. Yeah, there's maybe 3 creatures in my deck that don't die to Vraska. There's very few high mana value creatures in this deck, since we want creatures that we either sacrifice or synergize with tokens and cheap things. Day of Black Sun. Everything is dead. Let me see if I can rebuild. Cosmic Grand Zenith. Reanimate. Not the bearer. I want the Goyf because the Goyf can get other things back. We're going to go wide 2 humans and Stealthy Voidwalker. Next turn, I have enough mana to play Nita. And I could sacrifice a token just to dig up to put counters on all my creatures. That could be good. Could be. Again. Ugh. Goodbye, Cosmic Grand Zenith. And I assume also goodbye, Barrowgoyf. We'll see if they have a colorless card to cast. Maybe not. Now, Barrowgoyf does not trigger off of hitting Planeswalkers, which I think is tragic and stupid and just bad design. So I guess I just go for the Bitter Triumph instead. And I will be paying 3 life, hit the Ugin. And we actually have something kind of sick here. I'm going to play that Nita. And I don't care that I do not have the ability to exile anything on cast. I don't care. I want the Ugin. I want this buff. And I'm going to duress to see if you have anything that would be able to get rid of it easily. Arena, no. Smallpox. Actually, I'm kind of down with Smallpox here. Arena, I'm going to hit your card advantage. You already have 1 ring. Who cares? I will draw a card. It's Bossry. I'm going to swing in.
My plan bears fruit.
We mill. I did not actually hit a creature there, but Barrowgoyf grows. They're losing 2 life. Pox is from before Planeswalkers even existed, so Ugin is very safe from it. Emeritus of... Whoa! Yeah, you could tutor. Uh-oh. They're Seeching the Mirror. And because this is a 4-mana spell they could cast for free that they get off it, I could see it being a board wipe. Damnation, maybe? Flip it up. Damn! Exactly what we thought it would be. All right, Nita, come back. R.I.P. Barrowgoyf. Barrowgoyf is nuts. Yeah, it like, isn't that nice for this deck? But, like, it is just a generically good card. It can bring back things for this. Oh, I have to sacrifice a land. Bogchamp. See what I draw. It is a land, so I am going to gain life, draw again, look for something better, something more useful. Well, the Profane, not really more useful. Here's Nita, who dies to Vraska. Now, if I were to ult Ugin, he would get, I think, 2 mana rocks. Oh, they're tutoring something on top. I don't like that. Ugin is just card draw life gain for me. The name Smallpox implies Big Pox. Funny you would say that. There's actually an entire cycle of Pox cards of increasing size. I don't like how much you're setting up to tutor. It makes me think that you're running, like a Tendrils combo. Right now, though, you are dying to 1 ring, so they could sacrifice it so they don't lose 4, and they would gain a life. Maybe grabbing Shoulder to not die from the 1 ring. Yeah, I mean, they could have. Or they could die. I would love to have known what they had in their hand there. After a tutor, they should have won. Quintorius History Chaser is going to like it when we dig spells out of their graveyard, because Quintorius gets triggered by cards leaving the grave. And Quintorius can do that in a lot of very, very strong ways. I would say this is a great Boros commander because it's so card advantage, which is unusual for Boros. The plus ability, you discard 1, you draw 2, you mill, and if you have something that exiles cards when they get discarded, you're able to make 3/2 spirits. Or if you just use various effects to get things out of your graveyard, some things you can even cast from your graveyard to make them leave. Then you give your spirits double strike and vigilance, which is a surefire way to finish the game. So they've heisted. I have a lot of heist in my deck too. I'm a feisty heistmeister. And they dropped Underworld Breach. Cool. I'm gonna be making tokens, so I have something to sacrifice to Nita, and hopefully they will put things in the graveyard for me to steal, and I'll be able to dodge Quintorius. I'll do my best. Some FOMO. I wish I could run Lootmonger in this deck. Pinnacle Monk's now in the grave. I could reanimate that to grab, reanimate back. That could be nice. All right, so we're going to use that mana. Feels like a good use of mana. You're what, like a 5 mana 2/2? Doesn't actually count as casting things from my opponent, though. Let me check this out. Inquisition of Kozilek. They have a Lightning Bolt and a Solitude. Grab the Pinnacle Monk. Grab the Reanimate. Bring out my Flooded Strand. I've dealt a lot of damage to myself, but like, what else is new? Yeah, this has prowess. I'm surveilling. Maybe I'll get a critter. Oh, Duress. It is good, but one of the 2 cards we already know, it's not hittable here. Welcoming Vampire. I need to have like 6 mana for Nita to steal, say, Lightning Bolt. Oh, they're reprieving. Okay. One day I'll have my cool orb back. Here comes Quintorius. No way to exile things out of the graveyard that we can see. But still, good card advantage and hard to deal with since he goes immediately to 6 loyalty. They dropped in a Braid and... oh, other Quintorius. Lost Remake a thing. Thank you. Still short on this. Me orb! If you're wondering, well, Amy, couldn't you have just waited for the orb to be freed and then done stuff? No, because she's sorcery speed only. Oh, Containment Construct. That's one of the things that exiles as they discard. Gives them very easy way to trigger Quintorius.
New discoveries are so thrilling.
Also lets them discard lands and still play them, or other things, too. I think Containment Construct's a really good card for the deck. Scrabble and Claws, another way for them to make spirits, this time at instant speed. Wonder if they have something for that Solitude. Probably. Alright, I can grab Lightning Bolt, a Braid. Get a Braid this or this. See what I draw for the Welcoming Vampire. Oh, Bitter Triumph. I could also just go to kill Quintorius, which might be smarter. And I would do that in response to them activating Scrabbling Claws. Because I don't want to trigger Nita, if I can avoid it. Okay, Bitter Blossom Bearer. That's what they heisted from me near the start of the game. If I can kill that, I can actually bring it back off the Malakir Rebirth. Okay, they are targeting themselves in response. I will, I guess, just pay the life. Kill Quintorius. Get a prowess trigger here. Quintorius is yelling about something or other. And I can draw a card off Bossry by making a 1/1 triggering the Welcoming Vampire. Here comes Quintorius. Again, gonna get some good value, but at least I'm not dying to spirits this turn. Yeah, this is the nerdiest kid in Boros. Alright. Bossry, make a thing, draw me a card. Oh, Solitude. Neat.
Must dig deeper.
Oh, good. They milled the best card in their deck. Currency Converter. Currency Converter, you don't need as much if you have something like Containment Construct. It is just so good, though. I'll go to trade the Pinnacle Monk with the Spirit. Looking at all the goodies over there. I will sacrifice Bossry himself. Do you want to exile that out of your graveyard? So I can't grab it? Thanks. Yeah, unfortunately, their deck, like, as I said before, my commander triggers their commander. Because I'm trying to steal from your graveyard! You're making it very hard for me. I want you to know. I can grab that Pinnacle Monk again, but I don't really think I have the life to spare. Yeah, I wanted to be able to buff my creatures. But I think now it's just going to come down to... I'm going to Solitude this Containment Construct. And I'm doing this on my turn, so they can't do anything else. I kind of wish Nita could also take out of my graveyard. If I reanimate Pinnacle Monk, I can grab my Bitter Triumph. That's about it. Loads of mana, loads of spirit, and loads of card advantage.
What kind of mystery are you?
I want to be able to buff these cats so I can gain the life back. I'm going to try to use Malakir Rebirth on this. They may exile it or kill it in response so this doesn't fire. Fateful Absence on the Solitude. Take some damage. Ghost Vacuum, that gives another way for them to use targeted hate, so I cannot take things out of their graveyard, which is really just kind of harsh in my mellow, man. Come on, do you know how hard it is to make Nita go? Very hard. I guess I can attempt this. They will Ghost Vacuum it in response. Oh, no, actually they're in a closet. I thought they would have used it the other way around, but sure. I will attempt to grab this. Because it's sorcery speed, by the way, if they exile it in response, I cannot sacrifice another creature to try to steal it again. It just doesn't work. As much as I wish it would. Yeah, I think if Nita were either able to hit her own graveyard or go at instant speed, she'd be a lot more useful. They could have gotten rid of, like, the whole first ability, too. Just swing with everything. You probably have lethal. Because I'm forced to block the double strikers. Here, I'll show I have Opposition Agent. It is one more blocker. You have removal, that's Solitude. We've known about it for a while. It is all I got. I can't even tell which of these was affected by that. Okay, it was that one on the left. This, that, you, and you. And then we will probably still just die next turn. Like, again, this is me putting everything into not dying. And then I will die. Jenova, Ancient Calamity. Also known as Mommy Mutant, because she's going to turn things into mutants and draw cards when they die. I got cool cards here that work well with +1/+1 counters. Hi, Jenova. I feel like I don't match into that many creature-oriented decks, and this is very much a creature-oriented deck because it is scales. There's the scales. You want to put counters onto Jenova or just increase her power in order to put more power on everything else. I'd say the strongest cards in my Jenova deck are Ouroboros, because it's Ouroboros. They buff each other. Ooh, grief. I'm gonna play Emperor of Bones even though there's nothing in the graveyard. Somebody's asking, how do you search for the Final Fantasy Commander cards in Arena? It's S:FIC, which is Final Fantasy Commander. This was just from the Final Fantasy main set, though. Fair of Cultivation, more lands. Cosmogran Zenith. Gonna drop this Bitter Triumph, awesome as it is, out of pure greed. Jenova does go well in the Mothman deck. Hey, where's your other creatures that you'd, like, be buffing? Okay, I'll drop Journey so you don't, I don't know, enchant Jenova. Hey, Jenova, where's your creatures at? Yes, hello, Jenova. You have nobody to put counters onto. You have no creatures for me to steal out of the trash. No, because that's a potential spell for Nita. Jenova also plays really nicely with a lot of the new mutant cards. Bebop and Rocksteady were two really fun additions. Not the card Bebop and Rocksteady, but the two cards Bebop and Rocksteady that were in the TMNT precon, because they're naturally mutants and they have a +1/+1 counter theme. Alright, the Immortal Sun discounts all their spells, draws them additional cards a turn, and shuts off any Planeswalkers I may have. I do have 2 Planeswalkers in the deck. I don't have the mana for it yet. Terminus! Oscillittle! More little guys. Now, let one of these little things die. Yeah, you haven't played creatures, so buff it up. Yeah, having sacrifice cards is nice with Jenova because it gives you the draw on demand as you kill the mutants. But she herself is not a mutant. She doesn't draw off her own death. I wonder if they just found the wrong half of the deck. That happens to me sometimes. Like right now, I'm Orzhov tokens. Yay! Orzhov tokens. A Cursed Wombat. That is another Hardened Scales effect that is actually going to have a sweet double trigger. And if they want to draw a absolute nutload of cards here, they could. Village Rites would draw them 8. Do you want to draw 8 cards with your Mutant Wombat? Oh, that's nasty. They're gonna have a nasty end. And then, oh right, and 3 additional. I forgot about that part. They have 13 cards in hand. Arcane Signet. A Vengeful Blood Witch. They're just spitting out cards here because they're cheap and you may as well. Yeah, there's finally a creature I could steal. No! Aw, dang it. I can steal a 2-mana spell by sacrificing creatures. I'll take it. It gets me double buffs. Oh, would I draw? Grave Expectation is going to be easier, so we are going to Heist. +1/+1 counters for everyone. Reclamation Sage, that's the pick. We cast a spell we don't own. I destroy the sun. Swing in, and that should be lethal. GG, Jenova. Tifa Lockhart. Forces left to check their hand for protection and card draw and ramp because Tifa just doubles her power with every single landfall. I don't have a good way to stop her here. I have 1 piece of hand hate off the duress. I don't think that's enough for this deck, so I'm gonna have to throw it back. We have 1 piece of kill spell, a 2nd piece of kill spell, and a way to protect it with a Voice of Victory. I will take it. Tifa's usually just like a couple, say, Blossoming Defense, ramp cards, things that put multiple lands into play. That's the vibe. I'll start with this Talisman over the Voice so I can play Tony Bones. Hi, Tifa. Don't worry about counter spells. I'm not running any of those. Leaving up a green, because that is where their protective spells are, their snakeskin veils and stuff like that. So I'm going to play Voice of Victory. If you have something you want to play, you gotta play it now. Great. And I am using Sephiroth's sword to just stab her. It's a bitter triumph. And that's how you win against the Tifa. You make it so they can't stop you from killing her. Quandrix, the Proof. I'll get to start with a little bit of extra mana. We have some protection, some recursion, some card draw. But they're going to be playing spells by playing spells. The Cascade that Quandrix has means that just by casting your commander, you'll get an additional spell, oftentimes ramping up with lots of sorceries that put extra lands into play. And then when you cast another instant or sorcery beyond that, you're getting more goods. All right, I have to exile a card. Normally, I like Forsaken Miner because it's a great way for you to just like keep sacrificing a card and bringing stuff back. Mother of Runes is good at protecting from, what's the best way for me to put it? Protecting from anything that targets, though, and I feel like if they have things, they're going to be either counter spells or bounce spells. And Mother of Rune lets me set up and protect one of my creatures from the bounce spells repeatedly. All right, Thoughtseize. They have Rampant Growth, Snapcaster Mage, Rhystic Study, Kashmina, and World Weave. The World Weave's actually kind of weird from them. Ristic Study's just annoying as hell. Snapcaster, Rampant Growth. They only have 2 lands, so I'm going to hit the Rampant Growth. And here's your Mata. They have a fetch here, though, so they can go a-diggin'. Yeah, this is more ramp, but it's ramp based on casting creatures. Set Adrift. See? That's the kind of thing I want to be ready for. Delve spells are really nice since you do cascade based on mana value. I could set up for card draw, or I could set up for card advantage through Baragoyf. I'm going to go for the Goyf. If you're wondering why not set up Nita, I don't have anything to sacrifice yet. One day, maybe. One day. Hey, you want to flash out Snapcaster Mage? No? Okay, cool. They have their 3rd land. Would you like to play Ristic Study? That's cool. I don't need to cast many spells. Baragoyf, my friend! Get in there! Yeah, since they're a Spellslinger deck, they will, I think, eventually have spells for me to steal. Ooh, a rat! Yeah. Go rat. I can pay 1. Yeah, I'm paying the 1. I still think World Wave should cost 4 mana. They dropped Kashmina. Yeah, you don't get a card, you lose a card. World Weave! Oh, cool, a land. I will swing it with these 2. Mill. Grief! Paying the 1. A Snapcaster Mage. Getting them a land. Then they can grab Rampant Growth in order to get another land for Quandrix. Yep, big surprise. I wanted to steal that Rampant Growth, but no, you exiled it before I could. Rude. There's no creatures in your graveyard, right? Dang. Nothing to steal off that. I think I know what I want. You get to draw a card this turn. Don't worry about it. We're going to Beefadelphia. Nita's like, I can't wait until I get to be a part of this. Good luck. Ah, where's my super good Nashi? Where's my super good Gonti? Alright, I'll take a Rev. They are absolutely at the mana for a maximum bounce spell. A Cyclonic Rift, a River's Rebuke. Let's see if they do that. Based on what you currently have, and the fact that I kind of want to steal your Snapcaster, I'm going to go for this weird move. Blue. Bunk. You want to cast Quandrix, or you got a big bounce spell? If you, by the way, want just like big dumb spell value, I'll actually recommend Zephi over Quandrix from this set. I think that Simic Control for Spellslinger just doesn't work quite as well as Izzet does, since Izzet has very good board wipes and access to more of them. So yeah, they bounced everything. Then they're gonna draw a bunch of cards, but they haven't played Quandrix yet. And look, Elspeth's still here. She's like, still here. Just vibing. All right, Emperor of Bones. What is the biggest thing I could haste at their face? Nashi. That's only 3 damage, though. I'm trying to decide if I want to let them draw and then hit their hand or not. Since I don't have the best stealing, since they exiled everything out of their graveyard. I will decline. I will decline. And I'm going to evoke out Grief, dropping Rev. Rev is very cool, repeatable crime. Okay, the one. See what you got. All right, mass bounce spell on Brawl's expertise, so that's what we hit. And I will go wide. Pure junk. Do you want to play Quandrix yet? I'd love to get to use Nita. I don't think I'm going to get to. What's the waist for? Hey, Quandrix, what's that for? Yeah, I think that, like, because Quandrix really rewards you for playing Simic Ramp, it also has this weird side effect of... if you focus on ramp, the best payoff for ramp spells in these colors are big X cost spells. But X cost spells don't work with Quandrix if you cascade into them. Which is kind of weird because Quandrix is, like, as a school, is about X cost spells. Right? Like, that's weird. I assume they're running an Eldrazi. At least one of them. So they're cascading into Mystical Tutor. Oh, what are you gonna put on top of your deck? I'm gonna try to murder you before you can do anything. Oh, an extra turn. Very daring. Can't afford to recast the things from their graveyard, annoyingly. But I can't afford to kill them. So I will. Quintorius, History Chaser, is very good against us because our ability stops being that useful when it also gives our opponent a spirit. In this hand, I have the ability to steal, I have the ability to steal, and I have some ramp off Gemstone Caverns, which means I have the ability to ramp. And I shall ramp. The question is, do I still want this talisman? Probably not, since I already have turn to Jadar into possibly a Nashi. And Quintorius will be setting up things that will exile as they discard for tons and tons of value. Jadar, get on in here! Start making some exquisitely sacrificable zombies. Very good to put into the trash so we can grab things from their graveyard. No! How am I supposed to be grabbed by the ghoulies now? Man! Alright, well, I'm willing to give up this zombie to yeet this Nashi at their face. And maybe, just maybe, get to steal something from them. Get him, Nashi. Mox Amber, I'll take it. It's free real estate. Okay, well, taps for mana as long as Nashi's out because he's legendary. Restoration of Iganjo will give them some good discards. And can bring things out of the graveyard, which would trigger Quintorius. Right now, what I'm missing is removal for Quintorius. I'll swing in first. See what I get off Nashi. I don't have to cast it right away. I don't have to play it right away. Yes, like, Patriarch's Humiliation has nothing. And Nita does not trigger off of playing things you don't own. Dang it. Fine, Blanty. What do we got? Looting, Squelcher, Ghost Vacuum, Ghost Vacuum! I am playing this right now. If I hit cards in their graveyard, once Quintorius is out, they will get a spirit token. But if I do it, say, in response to Restoration of Iganjo, I can just be kind of rude boy. I'm a rude boy! Just like that t-shirt I have with Bort Sampson on it. Here comes Quintorius. It will probably be drawn and discarding. I am cool but rude. Thank you. Just like those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So they have a land, a lightning bolt. Great. If I try to use Nita, Quintorius, gets the stuff. I don't have enough damage to kill Quintorius either. So I'm gonna go for face.
You're ruining my work.
All right, Quintorius's insight. It technically works with the commander, so we're gonna play Nita. We're gonna play the insight. Could have done that in a better order. Would have been drawing cards and stuff. I don't care. I want this gone. If I had gone Welcoming Vampire into Nita, I would have drawn a card. And I also would have been able to set up the buff on the Vampire, but I didn't remember to do that. Lion Sash. Lets them exile one at a time from their graveyard. They draw, they discard. They can only exile one card, though. They only have one, actual white source here. I think they would have had to manually tap, which Arena hates doing. Ooh, Detectives Phoenix. They cannot bring it out of the graveyard right now. And if I hit it with Ghost Vacuum, well, they get a spirit. I will discard the Bloodstained Mire from my hand. Getting a Bitter Triumph. All right, let's do this. I'm going to pay 3 life to kill Quintorius. Quintorius, I'm going for your graveyard. They slurp up a land. That's fine. This gets a +1/+1 counter. They also get a spirit. That's it? That's all you got? Okay, great. That Detective's Phoenix? Yoinking it. It hath been yoinked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't flash that out, but it would require this. If I sacrifice a creature, I can use a Lightning Bolt. But this is the most killable critter. This is one of the more killable critters. Doesn't matter. Goodbye, Gonti. You'll be missed. Goodbye, Lion Sash. That counts as being cast from outside, so they take a damage. Unfortunately, I do not have other good mana up, so I can't, hold the Malakir Rebirth, really. Use it to protect these. I can play Quintorius again. Mog Moogle Warrior. I forgot they added this. So, we each get to discard. If I do, I get to draw. And they either get Moogles or +1/+1 counters. Do I want to be cantripping? Yeah. Dropping Arcane Signet. Dragani, thank you for the 11-month resub. We're stealing. I'm going to gift you a card. You love cards. Moonshaker Cavalry. Ragavan Nimble Pilfer is a weird matchup for Nita to have. Yeah, sure, we're both crime commanders. If Nita cost 1 mana, made a treasure, and stole on hit, well, by golly, this would make sense. But she doesn't do that. At all. That Leyline of Combustion is going to very much punish what I need to do in order to win this game, which is to say, I need to stop the Ragavan from going. I'm unable to prevent the damage. However, I can prevent them from stealing and ramping And I think that that's all I have for this first turn until I get to the Marionette Apprentice, and I can maybe chump block a little bit. Hey, Kraza. Yeah, this deck has matched into, like, a Johnny. It's matched into Ragavan. I've matched into Narset, the real nasty Narset. Do I just want to go 2-3 mode? No, because they probably have a Bolt. Yeah, the matchmaking for this commander has been strange. I will very much be trimming down this video to show the fairer, funner games, because it would be rough if I didn't. I don't think I'm willing to... No, you know what? I want that 2-3. They're 2-1 typo. Yeah, secretly a Rule 0 deck. Oi! Slicer, no slicing. Ah, Relic Robber's fun. Double block. I don't know why you didn't attack with more, but sure. Relic Robber gives you artifacts that hurt. Now, admittedly, I could sacrifice some of them because they are creatures, but not with the amount of mana I have. So, yeah, great. I can reanimate that for 2 mana to give me more blockers. I could play Relic Robber and just swing right back at them. I think I'd rather just flash out Opposition Agent, not because I think they're searching their library, but I think because, surprise, it's a 3-2. Okay, bunch of 1/1s. Celebration! Cool. I'm blocking. I'm gonna blockade this and that. More lands. I'm just doing it for more. I'd love to target their stuff. But there's a ley line. Okay. This is if I target them or their permanents. Simple. I'll get more black mana somehow, and then we'll do that. I can hit the Ghostfire Slice, but it will hurt me. I'll get black mana. Give me a minute. Oh! They're gambling! Wait, I'm gambling. What? Why did you give me that? Thank you? They forgore. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars, and Nita, I'm so sorry. It took me a genuine close to 5 hours of recording after something like 6 hours of tweaking this deck to try to get her to do, well, much of anything. The deck actually started with a higher win rate, and I had it as just a token sacrifice aggro deck. But the number of times I triggered Nita was 0. I got Nita out, she died. I got Nita in play, she could never steal anything. And unfortunately, it's really, really hard to play a 3-mana commander, then pay 2 mana, sacrifice a creature to maybe get to take a thing out of your opponent's graveyard, and then you have to pay the cost of the spell all at sorcery speed. Nita is just a little too weak, a little too fair, a little too balanced for crime to really enable herself. And the other crime cards just don't play that well with, hey, look, an extra +1/+1 counter. Great, I don't need one more +1/+1 counter. I do think you're jumping through a lot of hoops to do a little. And I think her design is cool, and I just wish you were better in Brawl. If you want to find the deck list I settled on, though, it is in the description of the video, and hopefully you still enjoyed this. I genuinely want to say, though, the matchmaking when I started recording this, like a day ago, she was mashing into purely the most just hellish commanders. We're talking about Johnny's, like our Kataras. We're talking about the cards that are oops all counter spells or just so aggressive and streamlined, Ragavan and stuff, that it's like, why is Nita there? I did also match into like that one jank Ragavan that like played themselves, but like that's not my fault. that's on them. I do really like that they're trying to control crime and make it fairer. This is something that also happened with another deck that I'd actually built and not recorded, which is Krang and Shredder. It allows you to steal. It even guarantees that you're going to hit a spell, but you have to enable it. It's at 6 mana, and you only have a small casting window. All of these casting restrictions, whether it's Nita's or Krang and Shredder's, makes it really hard to steal certain spells, especially spells that interact with the stack. So unfortunately, Nita, I think you're gonna have to retire after this. You did your stint of crime, and I worked really hard to try to make content for all of you to see what she could do, but she's just not quite there. Oh well, too bad. At least I did crime. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.